Welcome to another episode of Day.Sports. I'm really hoping this records properly. I've been having the biggest dramas with this microphone syncing up with the audio, like with the video. So if you're just listening to this, happy days, you don't need to worry about anything. Hopefully I won't have to record it 3 times and have massive head noise later on, but we'll jump into it all. Been a little bit quiet on the content over the last few weeks, been away overseas, went over to Bali, like I said in the podcast last week, and just got back from a cruise, Sunday, I think, this week? Went on a bit of a cruise with my girlfriend and her family and stuff like that, so haven't really had like the best internet access or really been able to do a touch. Plus it's off season, and I also need a little bit of downtime, so look, it is what it is, it's just one of those things, but I'll definitely look at getting a new mic by the start of the next footy season, that's for sure, because this thing is so unreliable it's not even funny. But before we jump into everything as well, make sure you do like and subscribe. I'll link all the socials in the bio as well. I really do appreciate the support. Trying to crack 500 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas. We're so close. I do appreciate again all the support. I'm loving it, so I reckon we'll be able to get there at least before the new year. Should be alright, so we'll see how we go. Yeah, like I said, went on a bit of a cruise. That was a lot of fun. Outside of, kind of having spare tickets to get on that, I can't say I'd really jump at the opportunity to go on a cruise just for a holiday by itself. I like to go overseas and see different things, and, cruise might not be for everyone, at least not for me, but you kind of just go out there and it's just like ocean. And once you've seen the ocean kind of once, you kind of seen a lot of it, unless you're going to like a reef or some crazy beach or whatever. When it's just open ocean, it's fucking blue. And that's about it. Man, the sea, not seasickness, like you're on a big boat, you think it wouldn't be that bad, but man, it feels so weird being on there. Like the first day, it took a bit getting used to. And I swear now getting off it, like we're only on it for something like 4 days, but I swear the rest of the world's been fucking topsy-turvy since then, so hopefully that comes good. But it's a pretty cool experience. The food might have begged a little bit, could have been a little bit better on the food side of things, but you're getting food included and everything, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Be good to have one without kids running around, which obviously it's a family friendly environment, which is great, but it's really strange. There was a casino on the boat, no security anywhere, no one checking fucking ID or nothing for anything. It was really bizarre. Like, not that I really give a fuck, not my problem type of thing, but that would never happen here in Brisbane, or I guess like in Australia, just being able to, like, kids being able to wander through pokies and whatever. Like, it was so strange, but just one of those things. So, jumping into sport, looks like the Broncos have banned maximum sex appeal at Red Hill. The boys have got a 6-pack ban put on by Madges, crushing the dreams of so many women across Brisbane and probably all of Australia, to be completely honest with you. They will not get to see Jordan Ricking just glistening in sweat after a training session. So, heartbreak right there for many people. The Broncos' Instagram engagement, it is going to plummet as well. No abs getting shown out there, but overall, apparently it's for the Broncos to be seen as more of a professional sporting outfit. It does give a little bit of Australia cricket about it, but honestly don't hate it too much. They're clearly trying to aim towards a particular look for the club and their players. So I guess they've kind of been labelled by the media as these like rock star personalities, and to an extent I guess that was true with how crazy the fans do go over some of those players. You've heard the stories of people breaking into Reece Walsh's car and whatever else going on, so it does get pretty hectic for them for sure. But supposedly Madge hasn't seen that rock star persona going on there, but I did go past the other day to pick up some merch from the Broncos store over there at Red Hill and saw them all kitted in their training gear, so it does look good, and it helps when they got a beautiful kit as well. So I'll definitely be dropping some coin on some of the training stuff. It looks pretty mean. I want to get a pair of their mint green shorts. They just look elite, not gonna lie. But yeah, no, it is a bit of a shame that we're not going to see the boys out and about there, but I'd be surprised if they didn't change what they do with the trainings as well, with fans going there. So I'm pretty sure, at least the way that it works at the moment, at the end of every single session, fans, if they'd like, they can rock up, get photos, meet players, have things signed, whatever else. And we saw last year how fucking crazy that was for them. Like I just mentioned, some of the wild stuff that was happening, but you'd think it would have been finals week or like a grand final. They had that many people there every single game. It was just ridiculous. And I know a few of the games that I went to last year, I had seats roughly where the boys would run out and that near the benches. And you'd finish up, game would be over, you're like, yep, sweet, time to get the fuck out of here. And you'd go to leave and there would just be like tons of young fans, or just a lot of like young women just lining up to go meet the players and whatever, which is like each their own, sweet, get around it. But I was like, wow, I've never seen it like that. It was pretty crazy what it gets like. But I'm kind of torn on that. I feel like they should have special occasions, kind of like meet and greet type of days, which they do, but maybe limit the access that they have. Maybe it's not every single session, maybe once a month type of thing, or just have those particular days for the media and for them to meet the fans and everything, because you can imagine that'd be somewhat distracting, and I've spoken about it before. I think it depends on the personality type of your players, how that's going to affect them, whether it's positive, negative, whatever it might be. And I do appreciate that they are giving back to the fans of the community and people that support them. Like, I can imagine being a little kid and getting taken there and meeting your favourite player and getting a photo with them and having it signed, and how much that might mean to them. So I can appreciate there's a massive aspect to that, and a lot of the players do a really, really good job with that. I don't want to sit here and say, it's getting to their heads. I'm not necessarily just saying that, but just as a bit of a distraction. I can just imagine that'd be distracting when you're trying to train and do what you need to do. Sure, it's at the end of training and whatever, but yeah, I don't think it'll change, but it's probably not the worst idea in the world. It'd be one way to kind of manage that look and shut up anyone that's kind of going, they're playing bad because of that. So, which I don't think is the case at all necessarily. But yeah, you just never know, I guess, how that might be affecting a player. And particularly, you might have some poor introverted player that has to go out there and get that done as well. But another thing that I'm just loving from the Broncos propaganda machine, though, is that Payne Haas is winning races up Mount Cootha. That big unit, he can move, and I think he's in a mood coming into next season. He's just a fucking gun, and it's weird. He didn't really get talked about, I guess, last season as being one of the best probably props for that season, and to be fair, he was out with injury, but even then played through a lot of pretty bad niggles, as you'd say. Like, he was pretty busted up but still put in 110% effort, and he's been going at it season after season after season, being one of the absolute best. He's a fucking machine, and I'm not saying he had a bad season. It just seems he wasn't spoken about maybe in the same breath as some of the other forwards out there, but who knows, he might be taking something like that personally and just revving up to put on a massive show, particularly 2023. A little bit of a disappointing season and a quiet season for Payne Haas, and it's just like he set the expectations so high and the bar so high. Sure, he's not going to be able to have these fucking 100 out of 10 seasons every single season, but I reckon he's gearing up to have a massive one, so can't wait to see that. And another thing that I have loved this week when it comes to Queensland and Rugby League is the new 2025 Queensland Origin jersey that has been announced. It is a little bit of a throwback, taking inspiration, I believe, from the 1995, so 20 years on jersey, when they were pretty much had a line put through them. They were written off saying, yep, nothing going on there. So I like the inspiration for that. I've only got one of the older ones. I think mine is from 2004 or 5. I'd like to know the exact year. It's one that I pinched from my old man. Love that jersey, but if it is a 2005, it would be cool to get this one 10 years on. Not 10 years on, sorry. 20 years on. It'd be 30 years for the other one. Fuck. My dumb ass can't do the maths today. Anyway, so 20 years on from that one, if it is that would be pretty sick. So they got and 30 obviously for the other, but yeah, they got the 1995 on one sleeve and then the 2025 on the other, which looks pretty sweet. It's only subtle changes from last year, like real small stuff. They changed like the stripes to match a little bit more, I guess, the 95 design, and it looks pretty mean. It's like tiny little change, just looks better. I think they changed the collar as well, from white to maroon, and it just looks fucking mint. Love it. Big fan of it. Got to make sure I don't miss out on tickets this year, because last season, I swear the last few years, they released like game 1, game 2, and they held off a little bit to game 3, and then they released it. But last year it was just like bang, everything's out, and I kind of just didn't really think about it. I saw that like I had pre-sale access, saw they came out, everything, and just was like, I'll just grab tickets later. By the time it hit me that, it's already been on sale, too little too late. All you could get was maybe a single seat if you're lucky up in the fucking top of Suncorp Stadium, which either way would be a sick atmosphere, but when you're trying to go with a few people, a little bit tricky, and nearly had a balls up with Magic Round tickets for next year, so have secured those. There's about 5 of us going, so I'm fucking keen as for that one. It's going to be massive amounts of fun, but literally the same thing. Like, I've been this entire year, because I've said I was away for this year's Magic Rounds. I really wanted to go next year and go for the entire time. I've only ever been able to go for like one of the days here and there in previous years, just because I've never fucking organised to buy tickets. But I pretty much said, like, as soon as tickets are coming out, I'm getting them. I'm not missing out. I'm going to be going for all 3 days. Going to have mint seats. It's going to be great. Again, get the email, pre-sale access for Broncos, and it's like, oh yeah, cool, I'll sort that. They won't sell out too quickly. It's all good. So I got organised like with the old man, with my brother, like girlfriend, other friends, and whoever else, try to get everyone together, and everyone's busy and whatever. It's hard to kind of fucking get an answer straight away, but looked in the morning, plenty of seats available, so I didn't really think much of it, like I was saying. Looked in the afternoon, the day that they came out for pre-sale, and fucking where I like to sit behind the post, pretty much everything was booked out. Nothing available, particularly in the Broncos supporters area, and I'm just like, fuck me, not again. And a lot of the other seats that are available just like weren't that great. We're up pretty high in the stadium, which again, not the worst thing in the world, but I want to get some pretty nice seats for it. So I'm stressing about it. I'm like, fuck's sake, have we missed out on good tickets again? How are we going to do this? Going back and forth between my brother and I, but managed to pick up in the Dolphins supporters area. Now, every single team gets access to their own kind of supporter zones or whatever else, so they're kind of blanked out from the public, so they're just available for those teams, at least as far as I can tell with it. I could get into any team I want sale using the Broncos code. I just decided to try it. I'm like, what could potentially happen? You'd think surely it might be like Sharks 2025 or like Roosters 2025, whatever it might be, but nah, the Broncos code worked on all of them, and I'm not too sure if that's just well known or not, or if that's just how it works, but tried it and bang, sure enough, through you go. And there was a lot more tickets available in the supporter zones for those teams. Now, you might not have been able to get good tickets across the entire time, but at least on a couple of those days got exactly the tickets we want, which worked out fucking brilliant. So you do see me in the Dolphin supporters game, fucking supporter zone. Fins up to those motherfuckers, because managed to get tickets there. There was a few other options. I didn't want to be anywhere in the Roosters supporter zone. Fuck that. And then, some of your bigger teams, like your Penrith and the Storm, they kind of got, I guess, same allocations as Brisbane and a few of the other bigger teams. But I think it was like Sharks, Eels. Dolphins, weirdly enough, had a small allocation. There's a few other teams that just, didn't seem to have as much. They just had like one area, but you go supporters for some of those big clubs, and it's like so many options available. So Magic Round is going to be coming up super, super fast. Super stoked for that. I've definitely as well got to keep an eye out for the Origin tickets this year, because I think it's what game 1 would be at Suncorp this year. So stoked for that one. And then we had a elite win over India in the second test in Adelaide. So Australia were 1-1 with India. We put India to the sword, and fuck, we got off to a hot start against them. But I didn't want to go too early in this one. I didn't want an early crow, because after what happened in Perth when I looked that way and then we ended up getting towed up, did not want that to happen again. Mitchy Starc, he's just a monster in the day-night or the night ball. He's just fucking machine. Ended up picking up a 6 from the first day, so he had a great innings. Good to see McSweeney as well go out and put some runs on the board. He did a job, got a bit of the shine off the ball, just perfect. Didn't make something ridiculous, but managed to do a job, and that's all that we needed. So if he can try and go out there and do that each time, that'll be great. Didn't look super great for Smudge. He didn't really achieve too much while I was out there, but it was nice to see Marnus make a couple of runs. He's well due for those. So what do you make there? 60 odd or whatever. So definitely needed that. It got us a long way there. I think he's going to be in for a massive one in one of these test match. There's so much media talk around his performance and his spot on the side. And, we've seen that so many times with different batsmen, and really, like, who's going to take Marnus's place? We don't really have somebody, same with like a Smudge. But I think he's going to go out on one of these games and just fucking ton up. If not get a double, just put India to the sword as well. And then you're not going to hear anything of it for a while. So I love to see big Marnus Lavashekni get out there and get the fucking thing done. But then we've got one of my favourite big-time dick swingers, and that is Travis Head, coming out and being India's dad again, blasting 140 off, 140 odd balls. Just an all-time performance from Mr. Travas. He just got the whole nation loving Head. All to then cop a spray from Mohammad Siraj after he got dismissed. Now, that deserved the well-earned fuck-off cunt that he got from Travi after that one. And I'm all for banter, and particularly coming into Australia with those teams, it would be a harsh environment. If you're India or England or something like that coming over here, the crowds are going to be India, the players are going to be India. So I've got no problem with a little bit of aggression, a little bit of mongrel fucking giving it to them. A bit of sledging going around, but probably not the one Shiraz to get a bit lippy after fucking Travis just single-handedly pumped your team and put you all over the place. Like, bloke was going for just blasted yous and you want to fucking be the big man. It's like, right, a bit weird that they both got in penalties for it. I guess some sort of fines or whatever's ridiculous because that's not cricket. And whatever, they go on about, I guess it is the gentleman's sport and, they've got to live up to certain standards, but yeah, Travis Head living rent-free in their head. And then second innings, we got to unleash Scotty T. Hottie, who went and got 3 wickets, I think, in that one. And then Captain Carmel Blue Eyes coming through and getting the 5 for just cleaning them up. So pump in India is what I love to see. So it was great, and it was poetic as well that Travi caught Siraj to get that last wicket. So it was just cherry on top stuff there. So he's going to be copying it from the Brisbane crowd when he goes out there. And of course, Travis Head is just a fucking Australian icon. I'm super stoked for the game this weekend. I think I mentioned it a few times, going on the one at the Gabba, a few of us going there. So it's going to be a wake up in the morning, crack a coldie, get into the work and get into the Gabba and potentially the casino, I dare say, after. But it's going to be a great day. Shame that I'm only going for the one, but, it's just one of those long weekends. But it works out perfect being on a Saturday. Hopefully the weather clears up. It has been fucking pissing down rain pretty much, I swear, for the last month and a bit. So super, super hot, but hopefully it comes good for the weekend. So super stoked by that. Unfortunately, it's going to be a rough day to be here, but that's pretty much everything that I've got for you this week. You've probably heard it all before from different media, but I'll tell you all about it anyway. So happy days. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, like I said, leave a comment in who you think is going to be winning this week in Australia versus India, who's going to be the top run scorer and the top wicket taker. Catch you all guys next week and have a good one.